Hello and welcome to all. Today's session we'll see introduction of Cursor AI tutorial for QA engineers. And in this series, we will see complete guide from beginner to advanced. Okay. So before we start, first we'll understand what is a Cursor AI. Okay. So Cursor AI is like a smart coding assistant inside a code editor. Okay. For example, I give the one example like when we are writing a sentence in Microsoft Word. Okay, it is a helping to write the sentence for spell check and the suggestions. Similarly, Cursor AI helps programmers and testers to write a code or create a test cases, find the bugs, and automate the task using simple English command. Okay. Now, if you see, Cursor is built on the Visual Studio Code. Okay, and that is reason it's almost same as VS Code, but it is a powerful AI feature built into it. Okay, and now if you see like one real life example, like suppose we want to design manual test cases, okay, for this login features. Okay, so first as a traditional QA, so first we'll understand the requirement, we'll understand the username, password, what is the field of username, what is the use of password, when user click on the login button what will happen. Okay, and the similar test case where when we need to automate it. Okay, first we need to and we need to identify the XPath of the email username field or the password field. Okay, we need to identify the XPath or ID or name of login button. Okay, so like if you see overall to design a automation test case using traditional QA approach, and if in case we are using the POM design pattern, definitely it will take 2 to 3 hours to design a single login script. Okay, but if we use the cursor AI within a 5 to 10 minutes, okay, we are generating all the codes. Okay, so now we'll see like yeah, so like traditional way as I mentioned. Okay, first we'll write a code manually. Okay, and then after that if there's any syntax error we need to identify the syntax error. Okay, and we need to fix it, we need to debug it, and we need to create a folder structure if in case we are using a POM. Okay, and definitely it will take 2 to 3 hours. Okay, but if we are using Cursor AI, we'll simply prompt like create a Selenium Java automation script for login page using page object model, and automatically our Cursor AI, okay, it will create a Java class, it will create a page object, it will generate the Selenium code, it's add the locators, and on top of that one, it will also suggest the best practices. Okay, so as a QA, our job is to review the code and we'll run the code. Okay, and like if you see, everything is happen within a 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, and this is the power of the Cursor AI. Okay, now we'll see why QA professionals love Cursor AI, because, like as I mentioned, it first of all it saves the time. Like as we saw, like for earlier task it took 2 hours. Okay, but using the Cursor AI, we are completing in 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, then again it's less coding but more reviewing. Okay, so we'll do the review. Okay, and definitely the important things. Okay, so more time for testing and less time writing boilerplate code. Okay, now what we'll do next, we'll see all the activity related to QA. Okay, if we use the Cursor AI and without the Cursor AI, okay, what will happen? Okay, so we'll use the cursor, okay, to understand the requirements. Okay, so without Cursor AI, okay, so as a manual tester, we need to read the all the requirement carefully. We need to analyze it requirement manually. Okay, but with Cursor AI, we just need to give the prompt. Okay, so definitely it's read the requirement and ask the Cursor AI to summarize and suggest the test scenarios. Okay, so definitely if you see output of Cursor AI, okay, it will give the output as well, and some test scenarios and the test case as well. Like here I mentioned test case creation. Okay, so in without Cursor AI, we need to, as a manual tester, we need to write test cases one by one manually. Okay, but with the help of Cursor AI, it generated test cases using a simple prompt. Okay, and next, if in case we are using the automation using Selenium Java, then definitely we need to write a code line by line. Okay, but using a Cursor AI, it generates the automation script in a seconds. Okay. And if in case we are using a framework setup, okay, we need to manually create a folder, classes, config files manually. But using a cursor AI, it generates the complete framework structure automatically within a second. Okay. Considering the locator creation, okay, we need to explicitly use, identify, and write the locators manually. Okay, but using cursor AI, it suggests and generate the locator quickly. Same way we can use for API automation as well. Okay, so using manual, we need to write a request, assertions, and validation manually, whereas using cursor AI, it generates the API test scripts with prompts. Okay, if in case while designing automation scripts, if there is any failures, okay, so as a traditional QA or as a manual QA or automation QA, and without the cursor AI, we are searching in Google and we'll identifying the stack overflow, and we'll go through all the documentation and we are fixing it. But here, using cursor AI, it asks the AI to explain and fix the error instantly. Okay, here we'll do considering the code review things. Okay, we'll do the code review manually, entire code. AI identifies the issues and suggests the improvements in cursor AI. Okay, so considering the if in case we need to write a query, okay, so we need to write a query and validate the query manually. Okay, but if we are using the cursor AI, it generate the SQL queries from the requirements. Okay, and considering the learning new technology, okay, so without cursor AI, we need to watch the tutorials and read the documentation manually. Okay, but ask AI for explanation and examples. It will give the quickly. Okay, considering the documentation without cursor AI, we need to prepare the document manually. Okay, but with the help of cursor AI, it generates a documentation in drafts quickly. Okay. Next, considering the regression suite creation as a manual tester or the automation tester, it's add the test cases and scripts manually in traditional QA or the without cursor AI. Okay. We- Using the with cursor AI, it generates the reusable automation scripts quickly. Okay, so if in case there is any bugs or any defect is there, okay, so we need to investigate the logs manually. We need to open the logs file and we need to watch the logs carefully. Okay, but with the help of AI, cursor AI, it helps the analysis the logs and probable the causes. Okay, now considering the productivity, definitely in without cursor AI we have a lower productivity, but using the cursor AI we have significant productivity is higher. Okay, and concerning the refactoring the code, okay, we are going through reviewing the code manually. Okay, but considering the AI, it definitely suggests the optimize the code always. Okay, considering the time, okay, without cursor AI it takes hours. With the cursor it takes some minutes only. Okay, and a traditional QA or without cursor AI we are uh, mostly depends on the search. Okay, and here we are not dependent on the search, we are just needs to give the prompt. Okay, in cursor we are getting the output quickly. Okay, considering the coding efforts, okay, it's a without cursor AI it's a high, whereas with cursor AI it's a low. Okay, so if you consider overall the efficiency, okay, without cursor AI it's a moderate. Okay, but considering the with cursor AI our efficiency increases and obvious our productivity also increases. So now if you see moral of the things, okay, QA plus as a QA plus manual effort, okay, it's a traditional testing. But if in case we are using the cursor AI, it's called a smart testing. Okay, but along with the cursor AI, if we are also covering the automation, then definitely high productivity testing, which is nowadays every company is required high productivity testing, and that is the reason we need to opt the cursor AI in our day-to-day life as a tester. Okay, and in next demo we'll see how we'll download the cursor AI, and we'll see in more details. If in case you have any questions, queries, please let me know. Thank you.